Chosen one, if you're reading this on a Tuesday, heaven has opened for you. Chosen one, if your eyes have found this message today, on a Tuesday, it is not random, it is not by chance, and it is not ordinary. This is a divine appointment. Heaven has cracked open above you, not with noise, but with revelation. You were guided to this moment by something higher, something ancient, something written before time itself. The Spirit has stirred within you, whispering that this day is different. It carries weight. It carries destiny. This is the threshold between the seen and the unseen, where faith no longer waits for proof, but becomes the evidence itself. You are not just reading this, you are awakening into it. The heavens have opened because your inner eye has begun to see, and now the veil is lifting. Something has shifted in the realm of the invisible, and today you are being summoned to walk into it. You, chosen one, understand this. Tuesday is not just a day on the calendar. It is a spiritual signal, a vibrational gateway, a coded moment hidden in plain sight. The world around you calls it just another day, but in the realm of the Spirit, Tuesday is when the heavens rumble softly with divine instruction. Look closer. From the beginning of creation, Tuesday was the day when God spoke again, not once but twice, the only day in Genesis marked by two declarations. That is no accident. It is a pattern, and patterns are how heaven communicates. On the second day, God separated the waters, the upper from the lower, the unseen from the seen, and now you are standing in that same spiritual reality. Something in you is being separated, elevated, lifted out of the common, and called into the divine. If you're reading this today, this message is your confirmation. Heaven is opening above you, and what was once clouded in confusion is now being made clear. The veil is thinning, not around you, but within you. The voice you've been waiting to hear isn't coming from the sky, it's rising from the silence of your own awareness. The breakthrough isn't falling from the heavens, it's being born in your consciousness, and Tuesday marks the moment you become aware of what has always been yours. You are not chasing favor, it has already found you. You are not begging for clarity. It is unfolding even as you dare to believe. You are not hoping for sign, you are the sign. Tuesday is the signal that something has divided inside of you, your old self from your new identity, your fear from your faith, your past from your promise. Heaven is not loud in this hour, it is precise. It speaks to those who are still enough to feel the shift. This is why you were called to read this now, not earlier, not later. Now, because right now the gate is open and you have the key. That key is consciousness. The doorway is not outside, it is awareness. Your imagination, when aligned with faith, is the stairway Jacob saw in his dream. Angels ascending and descending, not from above but within. You are not powerless, you are not lost, and you are not late. You are right on time, standing at the threshold between what was and what shall be. Tuesday is the divine interruption to your routine, God's way of saying, pause. Hear me. I am doing a new thing. And yet the new thing doesn't begin in the world. It begins in the womb of your spirit. That tug you feel right now, that stirring, that burning, is your confirmation. Heaven has opened because you believed it could. This is not superstition. This is law, spiritual law. And within, so without. As you see it, so it becomes. As you imagine it, so it takes shape. You are being reminded today that you are not waiting on God to act. God has already moved. The question is, will you see it? Will you receive it? Will you walk in it? Heaven does not force itself upon anyone. It opens to the ones who can recognize the moment. That's you. You are not just watching a message. You are stepping into a movement, the Tuesday movement, the awakening that happens when ordinary hours become holy ground, when routine turns into revelation. God didn't bring you to this moment to tease you. He brought you here because your soul was ready, even if your mind doubted. This is why things have felt uncertain lately, why relationships have shifted, why doors have closed. It was never punishment, it was preparation. God had to clear out the noise so you could hear this divine instruction, and now the instruction is simple. Recognize the pattern and step into the promise. You are being asked to believe without seeing, to accept without proof, to trust without guarantees. Why? Because this is how the door opens wider. Heaven responds not to pleading, but to knowing. When you say it is done, before the evidence appears, you make yourself a magnet for miracles. When you say, I believe, on a Tuesday when nothing has changed yet, the heavens record your faith and return it pressed down, shaken together, running over. This is your moment. It is not just about day. It is about what the day symbolizes. Tuesday is the second day, and 2 is the number of agreement, of union, of covenant. When your soul agrees with heaven's word, reality must adjust itself to match. It has no choice. This is law. You are no longer praying from the outside in. You are speaking from the inside out, and this is the difference between those who wish and those who walk in favor. The ones who move mountains are not louder. They are more aligned. They've seen the blueprint in their minds, and they walk as if it's already built. That's your call today, to walk as if it's done, to think as if the breakthrough is behind you, not ahead of you, to speak as if the miracle has already occurred, because in the realm of spirit it has. Time is only the servant of faith, and when faith is full, time must obey. That is why this Tuesday is different. It's not just another tick on the calendar. It's a spiritual alignment, a convergence of consciousness and calling. The heaven you're hoping for is not miles above. It is one thought away, one choice away, one bold step away, and Tuesday is the echo of God's voice saying, "This is the moment." So dare to believe now, dare to speak now, dare to move now. Don't wait for more signs. You have them. Don't delay for more clarity. You've received it. The gate is open. Heaven is watching. All creation is leaning in, waiting to see what you will do with this sacred invitation. You've been chosen not just to survive, but to manifest, to create, to bring heaven into earth through your decisions, through your faith, through your imagination. And if you've ever doubted your power, let this be the moment you awaken to it. The fact that you are reading this on this day, in this exact hour, is proof that the divine plan has located you. Now your role is to respond, not with fear, but with fire, with boldness, with the quiet certainty that the door has opened and you are the one it was opened for. Walk through it. Chosen one, hear this with the ear of your spirit. This Tuesday is not ordinary. It is charged with divine alignment. You are standing under an open heaven not because something is coming, but because something has already been set in motion. What you have been praying for, what you have been silently hoping would shift, what your soul groaned for when words failed, that very thing is now in divine circulation. It has left the unseen and is descending into form, but the delivery is spiritual before it is physical. And on this Tuesday, something in you is finally aligned to receive it. Heaven does not move at random, it moves in rhythm, and your life in this moment has locked in that rhythm. You have not missed your turn, you have not delayed your destiny. You are right where you are meant to be, caught between what was and what is breaking forth. You may not see the full picture yet, but make no mistake, the door that once stood closed has begun to swing open. It is not a matter of if, it is only a matter of how ready you are to walk through. Deliverance does not always come as a sudden blast. Sometimes it enters like the morning sun, quiet, consistent, undeniable. This is that kind of moment. On this sacred Tuesday, your soul is being delivered from more than circumstances. You are being delivered from false beliefs, old patterns, hidden fears, subconscious prisons that once ruled you without your permission. Heaven has not just opened to give you something. It has opened to free you. The real deliverance is within. It's the letting go of everything that has kept you small, scared, stuck, or silenced. That's what this Tuesday holds. It's not about what's around you. It's about what's awakening inside of you. The prison doors of your own limitations are being shaken. And if you dare to believe it, they will fall right here, right now, this Tuesday. Divine alignment is not luck. It's when heaven's pattern overlaps with your obedience. When your yes in the dark meets God's word in the invisible, things shift. This is that intersection. The old delays were not denials. They were divine timing in disguise. And now that your heart has matured, now that your faith has ripened, now that you have come to the end of your own striving, now heaven can deliver what's been waiting for you all along. This moment is not about striving. It's about receiving, not chasing, but allowing. The season of doing is turning into the season of being. You are being asked to stop begging and start believing. This Tuesday has been designed for that transformation, a day that has been coded in heaven's blueprint as your day of spiritual awakening. The atmosphere around you may still look the same, but your inner world has changed, and when your inner world shifts, reality has no choice but to follow. This is the law of spirit, as within, so without. You are being delivered from the illusion that you must earn what God has already given. Let that go. Heaven isn't opened by your perfection. It opens in response to your faith, and faith is active right now. Your faith is what activated this Tuesday appointment. Your faith is what made the invisible start bending in your favor. Your faith is why doors are beginning to creak open, even when you were tired, even when you were afraid, even when no one saw the silent battles you fought at night. Heaven saw and heaven responded, and this Tuesday, this very Tuesday, marks the moment where your alignment releases your deliverance. Deliverance is not only about escaping something bad, it's about entering something greater. You are not just being rescued, you are being positioned. There is territory in the spirit realm that your name has been written over. This is the season when you step into it. Your delay had a reason, your pain had a purpose, your silence was a setup. God didn't abandon you. He hid you until you were strong enough to carry what he has placed in you, and now on this Tuesday the season of hiding is lifting, the fog is clearing, the instructions are coming, and the boldness to act on them is being birthed inside your spirit. Heaven has seen your surrender, it has recorded your tears, it has acknowledged your private obedience. You didn't need a stage, you didn't need applause, your alignment happened in secret, but now your deliverance will be evident. People won't understand how or why things begin to turn around for you, but you will know. It was Tuesday, the day when heaven said now. The day when the invisible hand of God moved the pieces into place, when your name was whispered in the courts of heaven, when angels were dispatched to your case, when the answers that felt delayed suddenly felt drawn to you. Deliverance is not just a change in location, it's a change in revelation, and this Tuesday you're seeing what you couldn't see before. What was hidden is now being revealed. You'll notice it in the way clarity comes, in the way peace returns, in the way your spirit finally exhales and says, "It is well." This is not hype. This is not a motivational illusion. This is spiritual law in motion. You aligned, heaven responded. Now the manifestation must follow. Hold this truth close. Nothing that is yours by divine right can be kept from you, not by people, not by delays, not by confusion. The moment you came into agreement with God's will, the real will, not the surface desires, your life stepped into alignment, and alignment always leads to deliverance. There are people being removed because your deliverance demands protection. There are doors being closed because your deliverance requires redirection. There are things being stirred up in your soul because your deliverance is no longer a theory. It's becoming your reality. This is the power of divine timing. This is the sacred energy of Tuesday. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming the version of you that already exists in the mind of God. Becoming the one who no longer settles for delay disguised as comfort. Becoming the one who no longer bows to fear disguised as logic. On this Tuesday, heaven has opened not to impress you, but to invite you, to call you up higher, to give you the strength to say yes to the new even when the old feels familiar. You are being delivered from survival and called into significance, from scarcity into sufficiency, from wandering into purpose. And if your spirit is leaping, if your eyes are stinging with recognition, then you know this isn't just a nice message. It's a word for you. It's a spiritual announcement sent straight to your soul. The heavens are aligned. The time is now. The door is open. This Tuesday is not a coincidence. It's a covenant. Heaven has remembered you. Now rise. Chosen one, lean in closely, because what you are about to understand will alter the rhythm of your life forever. The blessing of Tuesday is not widely taught, yet it is divinely encoded. It is God's whisper hidden in plain sight, waiting for the awakened soul to receive it. Tuesday is what many call the second day, but in the spirit realm it is far more than just a point on the calendar. It is the day of divine distinction, the day God spoke twice in the book of Genesis, two separate blessings declared in one day, the only day of creation this happened. Do you not see the spiritual weight of that? Tuesday is the day of double portion, the day when heaven echoes itself. That is no accident. That is God revealing a secret rhythm, a hidden doorway in greater. If you are reading this now, on a Tuesday, it means something in your spirit is being positioned to receive what the natural mind cannot explain. The second day represents separation and elevation. In Genesis, God divided the waters, the heavenly from the earthly, the visible from invisible. This was not destruction, it was order, and so it is with you. The reason your life has felt unstable at times, the reason you've been pulled away from certain people, places, and patterns is because God has been separating you, not to punish you, but to position you. He's been rearranging your atmosphere to prepare for a second day kind of blessing. He's been cutting cords you didn't know were holding you down. He's been quiet in seasons where you wanted clarity, not because he was absent, but because he was aligning. Now you stand here, on the Tuesday of your destiny, where the double word of God hovers over you like a cloud. And this isn't just about material gain, it's about spiritual acceleration. The second day blessing is the moment when God says, you're not who you were. You've crossed a line. You've graduated in the Spirit. And because you've elevated, what you attract must now reflect that elevation. That's why old connections are breaking. That's why the familiar has become uncomfortable. That's why you can no longer stay in rooms that shrink you or conversations that drain you. Tuesday is not just a day of reward, it's a day of recognition. Heaven recognizes that your faith has matured, your identity has shifted, your spiritual posture has deepened, and now it's time for your reality to follow. You're not being blessed just because it's your turn. You're being blessed because it's your time, and there's a difference. Your turn is about fairness. Your time is about divine order. When it's your time, no force in hell can stop it. No delay, no betrayal, no rejection can block it. That's where you are now, in the current of your divine timing. You've passed tests that no one clapped for. You've wrestled in prayer when your body was tired and your heart was weary. You've believed in silence, and now heaven is answering with manifestation. On this Tuesday, God is whispering the second word over your life. The first word was promise. The second is fulfillment. The first was preparation. The second is activation. The first was hiddenness. The second is release. You're stepping into a realm where things happen faster, not because you're rushing, but because you're finally aligned. You're no longer chasing what you used to beg for. Now it's chasing you because you've become the version of yourself that's ready to hold it. This is the mystery of the second day blessing. It doesn't give you more to carry until you've become more within. That's why this season required stretching. That's why your comfort zones collapsed. God was expanding your capacity, not for popularity, not for applause, but for purpose, and now the weight of that purpose is meeting you with a double blessing, one for what you survived, one for who you became. You see, heaven does not forget. Your tears have a record, your sacrifices have a voice. Your surrender has weight in the spirit, and Tuesday is the day heaven balances the scales, not because you earned it through effort, but because you endured with faith. This isn't a reward for being perfect. It's a release because you were persistent. You didn't quit when it would have been easier to walk away. You didn't compromise your calling to fit in. You didn't downgrade your destiny for comfort. And now the second word is being spoken over you. Go forth, expand, possess. You are not entering into new territory by accident. You are being sent. Like Abraham, God is calling you into a land you've never seen but has always been yours. Like David, your anointing is being made public after seasons of private obedience. Like Joseph, the pit is behind you and the palace is preparing to receive you. This is Tuesday. This is your confirmation. The same way God divided the waters, He is now dividing your past from your present. You will not return to who you were. You will not think the way you used to think. You will not need to fight in old ways. Your weapons have changed because your rank has changed. The enemy you fought last season will not have access in this one. You are rising into new authority, and with that authority comes responsibility, not to prove yourself, but to walk in power, quiet power, still power, the kind of power that doesn't need to announce itself because it radiates. You are no longer chasing doors to knock on. You are the door. You are the divine access point for heaven to enter the earth. And that's why the second day blessing matters, because it doesn't just shift your life, it shifts the lives of everyone connected to your assignment. Your breakthrough is generational. Your obedience has ripple effects. And this Tuesday is God's reminder that what He begins, He finishes. You are not in limbo. You are in transition. And the beauty of transition is that it feels like breaking, but it's really birthing. You are giving birth to your next level, your divine expression, your full spiritual stature. Don't minimize what you're Walking through, don't despise the pain. Every contraction is announcing that something holy is being delivered through you, something sacred is stepping into the natural realm, something divine is moving through your faith. That's the second day blessing. It is not always loud, it is often subtle. A whisper, a shift, a knowing, but when you feel it, you know the atmosphere is different. You know your spirit is rising. You know heaven is closer, and it is. Right now, over you, around you, within you, the heavens are open, the blessing is speaking. Tuesday is moving, and you have been chosen to walk in it, not tomorrow, not later. Now, this is the second declaration. This is the divine echo. This is the blessing that separates, elevates, and activates. The second day blessing has found you. Don't look back, step through. Chosen one, today on this sacred Tuesday, you are standing where most never recognize they are, at the edge of revelation beneath an open heaven, while the veil between dimensions thins just enough for the awakened to perceive it. This isn't just a message, it is a divine alignment. It is the manifestation of what your soul has been sensing for weeks, maybe even years, but couldn't fully articulate. You've been carrying this feeling, haven't you, that something was near, that something unseen was touching your life, but not yet visible. You're not crazy, you're not imagining it. You are simply sensitive to the shift, to the language of spirit that doesn't speak in noise but in impressions, synchronicities, and holy timing. And now, on this very Tuesday, God is lifting the veil just enough for you to see, not with your eyes but with your awareness. This is the gift of those chosen. They see what others walk past. They hear what others ignore. They feel the movement of God before he even speaks. You, chosen one, have been called to walk in that sensitivity. And this Tuesday marks the moment when that gift comes fully online, when your inner sight sharpens, when the fog begins to lift, when you stop begging for signs and realize you are one. You see, most people live behind the veil, consumed by the noise of the world, distracted by the demands of time, and desensitized by the routines of life. But not you. Something in you has stayed hungry, something in you has kept seeking, and now, because of that hunger, heaven has responded not with lightning bolts or fire from the sky, but with clarity. That's what this Tuesday brings, clarity that cuts through confusion, light that slices through delay, revelation that exposes both what was keeping you bound and what will now set you free. You have felt stuck, not because you lack ability, but because your environment didn't match your elevation. You've been pressing against invisible walls, not realizing that the walls weren't physical, they were spiritual. Limitations built by outdated beliefs, fear-rooted agreements, and subconscious doubts passed down like inheritance. But this Tuesday, that veil is thinning, that wall is cracking, that illusion is dissolving, because when heaven opens, it always reveals. And when God reveals, he doesn't just show you the world around you. He shows you, the real you, the version of you that is bold, clear, whole, and filled with divine fire, the version of you that doesn't beg for crumbs but commands with authority, the version of you that knows it was never about effort, it was always about alignment. This Tuesday, the veil is lifting, not just so you can see the future, but so you can see your reflection. Heaven wants you to remember who you are. You are not the failure they called you. You are not the weakness you've battled. You are not the delay you've survived. You are the evidence that God lives in man. You are the image of the invisible, and now you are being called to walk like it, to speak like it, to command your atmosphere with that awareness. The veil thins when the soul matures, when you've wrestled with silence long enough to find peace in it, when you've been disappointed enough to stop demanding outcomes and start trusting divine timing, when you stop needing the world's applause because you've already heard heaven's whisper. That's when the veil begins to open. That's when the Spirit says, you're ready now. I can show you more, and that's what is happening today. This Tuesday is not just another loop on the calendar. It is a doorway into deeper perception. Don't look for it in the sky. Feel it in your spirit. Feel how the air has changed, how your thoughts are clearer, how the heaviness that once sat on your chest has started to lift. That's not coincidence. That's divine response. The heavens are opening because you are opening. You are allowing the divine to reveal truth, and truth is always the first step to freedom. But hear this. When the veil lifts, you will begin to see things that require responsibility. You will discern motives that break your heart. You will sense danger before it forms. You will recognize false light dressed in spiritual language. and you will be tempted to go back to sleep, to pretend you didn't see what was shown to you, but don't. You are chosen because you can handle what others ignore. You are called to see the system beneath the surface, to pierce through appearances, to decode the spiritual architecture of the season you're in, and that takes courage. It takes a heart that values truth over comfort. It takes a soul that will walk alone, if necessary, just to remain aligned. That's why this moment matters so much. This Tuesday is not just revelation, it's activation. God is not just showing you more, He is trusting you with more, with sight, with strategy, with wisdom to know when to speak and when to be silent, with discernment. Recognize what seems right but isn't aligned. This is why your circle has felt smaller. This is why your connections have felt shallow, because you can't carry deep sight in shallow spaces. You can't share unveiled truth with veiled minds, and so heaven has been gently pruning, not to isolate you, but to prepare you, because what you are about to walk in requires clarity that doesn't come from crowds. It comes from communion, and this Tuesday communion is happening, spirit to spirit, heaven to earth, divine thought to awakened soul. Do you feel it? The thinness in the air, the stillness that doesn't feel empty but pregnant. That is the sound of heaven brushing against your life. That is the vibration of destiny moving into position. That is the mark of a veil that is lifting just enough for you to see, to know, to act. And now everything will shift, because once you've seen, you can't unsee. Once you know, you can't pretend not to. Once the veil lifts, you are responsible for walking in the light it revealed. So take this moment seriously. It is sacred. This is not hype. It is holy. This is not emotion. It is elevation. This is not just a message. It is a mirror. You are seeing yourself rightly. You are seeing your situation clearly, and now you must walk accordingly. Don't play small anymore. Don't return to shadows you've been delivered from. Don't lower your frequency to stay comfortable. You are called to ascend, and this Tuesday is your ascension point. The veil has thinned. The truth has been shown. Heaven is open. Now go forward. See everything. Say only what must be said. Move with intention. Love with power. Wait on no one. Your eyes are open now. This is what it means to be chosen. Chosen one, this Tuesday is not like the ones before. It carries a divine charge, a spiritual echo, a celestial signal that can only be heard by those who have walked through fire with no applause, who have wept in silence with no comforters, who have fought invisible wars while the world misunderstood their silence. And if you're reading this, it's because heaven has seen you. Not the image you wear for others, not the strength you summon just to get through the day, but you. The raw, the bruised, the gifted, the faithful. Today is heaven's response to what was never acknowledged on earth. Today is the day God says, I saw it all. The nights you collapsed on the floor, asking for one more ounce of strength. The times you chose obedience even when you were trembling with fear. The moments you poured out love when all you received was distance. You were never overlooked. You were never alone. You were never ignored. This Tuesday is the divine spotlight being turned toward you, not for performance, but for recognition. This is the day your hidden labor gets called to the front, the day when your invisible war becomes heaven's public rescue. You see, the world doesn't understand the cost of being chosen. They see the light, but they don't know the crushing. They hear your voice, but they don't know the silence you had to survive just to find it. But God does, and heaven remembers. And while others applauded the visible victories of those around you, God was storing up every unseen act of faith you made in secret. This Tuesday is when the spiritual scales begin to tip in your favor. You've been weighed and found faithful. And now the season of survival is giving way to a season of supernatural support. The invisible war is giving way to visible wonders. You didn't just survive that storm, you mastered something in it. And now you're being trusted with more, because that's what this Tuesday is about, divine entrustment. When God says, I can now release what I've held back because you have proven you'll carry it with integrity. You didn't lose your calling when you lost your strength. You didn't disqualify yourself when you had doubts. Your faithfulness, even in fear, was the qualification, and the heavens are opening because your spiritual endurance has passed the final test. Make no mistake, this is not about reward, it's about recognition. God is recognizing the truth of who you are beyond what people misjudged. He's acknowledging the purity behind your silence, the power behind your stillness, the love behind your discipline, and now, because you stayed, because you stood, because you kept showing up, you will be shown off, not for pride, not for fame, but as evidence, evidence that God keeps records even when Man forgets evidence that obedience without applause is still obedience that moves heaven, evidence that those who dwell in the secret place will always be publicly lifted in due time. This Tuesday is your due time. That's why it's felt strange all day, why your body feels heavy but your spirit feels alert, why everything looks the same but something deep inside you knows it's not. That is spiritual alignment. That is divine visitation. That is the atmosphere preparing to shift on your behalf, because you are no longer in the wilderness season. You're in the witness season. You're about to witness the hand of God move in ways that silence your accusers, vindicate your name, heal your heart, and restore the years. This is what happens when you are seen, and being seen by God is not passive. It's not sentimental. It is powerful. It activates things. It summons favor. It triggers release. When God sees you, mountains move, resources realign, people are stirred to help you without knowing why. Doors swing open that logic says should remain closed. That's what Tuesday carries now. An unexplainable grace that wraps around your life and brings you into places that only favor can unlock. But don't be surprised when the old world starts resisting. Light disturbs darkness, and as heaven elevates you, people who once felt comfortable with your struggle may feel uncomfortable with your rise. Let them go. Let their discomfort reveal the truth, because you are no longer shrinking to fit into small minds. You are no longer bending to keep peace with those who were never assigned to your journey. This Tuesday, you're not just being seen, you're being separated, and separation is painful but necessary, because what God is placing on your life cannot be carried in environments that don't honor your anointing. You're being lifted out of hidden places so that the real you can be fully expressed. No more hiding, no more second guessing, no more playing small to protect egos. You've been seen, chosen one, and now you will be shown. You are the proof that God elevates the humble. You are the proof that suffering births power. You are the proof that obedience under pressure always produces open doors. And now everything is shifting, not because you forced it, not because you earned it, but because heaven has responded. This is the day of divine affirmation, the day God leans close and whispers, "Well done." Now rise. This is not the end, it's the unveiling, the beginning of the next chapter, one marked by clarity, favor, power, and holy boldness. You will speak and things will move. You will walk into rooms and carry a presence that transforms the atmosphere. You will hear God more clearly, sense danger more sharply, and navigate decisions with heaven's precision, because once heaven sees you, heaven trusts you, and that trust releases keys to hearts, to realms, to dimensions of understanding that few ever reach. That's your inheritance, that's your portion, not because you're better, but because you've been faithful, and now the realm of the Spirit is responding. You are being affirmed, not for who people think you are, but for who heaven knows you to be. That's the beauty of being seen by God. It's never about appearance. It's about alignment, and you, beloved, are in alignment. So receive this Tuesday differently. Let it hit your spirit like a trumpet blast. Let it shift your posture from weariness to expectation. Let it stir your faith to believe again. This is not just another day. It is the day when the battle turned, the day when the scales tipped, the day when the eyes of heaven looked at you and said, "It's time. Time for restoration, time for recognition, time for release. You've been seen, and now you shall shine."